So in this video, I'm going to walk you through creating a book in BookBuilder, or at least show you how to get started creating one. I'm not going to make a whole book, but I'll show you how to get started with the template. I've already logged in, and this allows me to now go to this section in the middle where it says Create. So we already looked at this section in the previous video where we looked at a few books that had already been made, and you can continue to look here to get ideas. This section now allows us to create our own. So I'm going to click Create and Edit My Books. And you'll see right here where it says Start a New Book. And I think I said in the previous email, this is a template. So I'm really not doing a lot of the technology part of it. I'm just filling in the template with whatever I want to be in my book. Once I've done that, you'll see down here, these are where I've done previous ones just as examples for classes. And they keep them all right here for you. You can delete them later on if you're not using them. See, this one's are all the way back to 2010, but it keeps them there and you can go back to it. So once you start working on one, if you close it out, it'll be saved in this section. You can come back to it and continue to edit it. So I'm going to start a new book, and you'll see that it asks me to fill in the blank, just like a template. So we'll say that my book's going to be about spiders, because that's what my son is really into right now. And I'll put my name. And if I have an illustrator, original author would perhaps be a book that has already been written. I don't want you to do that for this. I want you to stick to original work because we do need to be careful about copyright. Notice you only really have to fill in the ones that have the orange arrows. So I'm going to select a content area. We'll say science. A genre if I want to. A grade level, maybe this one is going to be for first grade. And the language. And then I can decide if I want it to be a portrait view or a landscape view, however I want my book to be read. So maybe we'll choose landscape. Now this is where you can choose the coaches. You saw the coaches in the previous video, and the two different books we looked at used them in different ways. You can decide how you want them to be used. So I can change the name of my coach right here if I want him to, maybe I want him to be Pedro the Penguin, which I can't because I don't have enough room. Or I want him to be Pete the Penguin, or whatever I want him to be. You can change the name. I can change the order that they appear, so maybe I want him to appear third and Hallie second and someone else first, however I want that to be. If I don't have anything next to him, that means they won't appear. So right now in this book, only Pedro and Hallie are appearing. But say I want Monty too, I can have him there. It only allows you to have 3. So if I decide that, oh, I really wanted to have this bot instead of within these guys, I'm going to have to get rid of one of them. So maybe I get rid of Hallie, and I can have the bot. Okay. I can choose the voice of the coach. So there are different voices. I can preview those voices here. So I can listen to them if I want to, if it'll open. There we go.
Builder, my name is Kate.
Hello, my name is Susan.
So you can look through, and there are also different languages that are represented, which is great if you are thinking about making your ebook a bilingual book. I've had some students do that in the past, where they'll put, if it's in PowerPoint, they'll break up the page so that they're reading the story in both Spanish and English. But this would be great for you to be able to have it in audio.
Hola, me llamo Miguel. Mi voz es perfecta para reproducir cualquier texto
So
en...
that would be a great support for English language learners if they're Spanish speaking. Of course, you're not guaranteed that all of your English language learners will speak the same language or same native language. But if you want to just pretend like all of them are Spanish speaking, that's something you could do. So you choose them, you choose their voices. Now you can also make up your own if you want to by uploading pictures and choosing their names. So that's another option if you want it to go along with the theme of your book. You could have pictures that match that. So then you hit submit. And it takes you to the next part. So this is where you're going to start building your book. And you'll see that there is a template for each kind of page. So you select, it says select a layout to begin. So maybe I start with my title page and click on it. And then it takes me to this page where I just go step by step into creating what I want to appear on the page. So I can put some text, and I would click add text, and I can type right in here, or I can, well, I guess we said it was spiders, so maybe I write spiders. Or I can copy and paste it. I can choose the font I want it to be and the size. I can make it bold, so I can play around with the different, all the same alignment tools and other tools that you would find maybe in Word. Then I can add a picture if I want to. Oh, sorry. I got distracted. So I can add a picture from my computer, so I could go to choose file and then upload a picture that way. If I want to, I can add in some additional text or a description of the picture, and I didn't add anything, so I'm going to hit delete or cancel, but then I would hit save. So then I continue to build, and then maybe I have some more text that will be underneath the picture. And maybe then I also have some audio. So this would be my opportunity to record my voice or to add audio from my computer. So I can upload that, and I could have recorded my voice on my phone through a voice memo, and then email it to myself or have it on my computer to be able to upload it. It gives you the option to have two audio links on the same page, and then I can put in here in these boxes what the coaches are going to say. So if I want Pedro to explain the page, then I would put that there. If I want the bot to ask a question, I'd put that there. If I want Monty to tell them what to do next, I'd put that there. And then it's also optional to have the student response area if you want them to answer a question. So you click that and put the question there, and then that would appear. So once I do that, I can add another page. So you see I can add a page before this page if maybe I start working on the page that's in the middle of the book, because that's where I want to start, and then I can add pages before it or I can add pages after it. So when I click that, might be a little slow. It's thinking, it's turning. It takes me back to this page where I can choose the type. So maybe the next page I want it to be a table of contents. You saw that in the historical inquiry book we looked at. Or maybe if it's not an informational kind of text, it's more of a story. Maybe I don't want a table of contents, and I can go straight to the content pages. So a lot of the elementary ones that tell a story usually have a picture and then words underneath, or words and then a picture, so maybe those two. But you can choose how you want to set it up. It could just be text, it could be a picture and a text like this, it could be a lot of text and a picture, or mostly a picture and some text. However you want it to look, that's up to you. So I chose the one that's the picture on the top and then a little bit of text. So there's the camera. I can add an image. There's text. I can add the text underneath. I can add audio if I want to. And I can say what the coaches are going to say. So I'll continue through all of those pages until I feel like I'm done, and then I'm going to hit book completed. So this is saying that it might be helpful to add some of these things like text, sound, or images, glossary entries, citations, and hyperlinks. So those are all things that I might add. And let's go to the text box. And okay, I wanted to refresh my memory. So if I want to add a word to the glossary, so maybe I'm typing my sentence, and then there is a word that needs to be linked. So we'll just say word. So there's my vocabulary word, and I want to make sure that my students can click on that to be able to see it. So it tells you up here that if you highlight the words and click on the book icon, you'll be able to insert them into the glossary. So there, I'm going to highlight that word, and I'm going to come up here to where it says book, or it shows a book. So this pops up as the glossary. It says to link this word or phrase to a definition or to list in the glossary to be defined later, click on one of the items below. So I can add it to be defined later, or I can choose an existing definition. Maybe I already have built up, if I've created books, have built up some definitions. But more than likely you haven't created a book using this, so we would choose the first one. And there it is. And so then we hit save. Before I do that though, I want to show you one other way. So that would be to the glossary, is to hit that book icon. But then maybe I have another sentence and I want to link it to an outside website. So maybe since we're talking about spiders, maybe I'm going to link it to National Geographic, to their spider page. So if I highlight the word, if I look up here to this little icon that looks like a chain link, and I hover over it, you'll see it says insert or edit link. If I do that, then I can link a URL. So I would need to have that. I would have the link to National Geographic, and I would paste it right there and click insert, and that would make it a link. And you see it's made it a link even though it didn't really go anywhere because I didn't put anything, but it knows that I was trying to make it a link. And hit save. Okay. So then I'm going to hit book complete, and again they're saying I can add different things, and hit save. And there's my book. So I can go back to it and edit it if I want to. I can start another one if I want to. And you probably hear my children taking a bath, and I apologize for any noise you hear in the background. So I'm trying to think if there's anything else I needed to show you with this one. This one is pretty much fill in the blank, follow their directions. If we click back on my book and hit read, it'll show what it looks like. Of course, I didn't really do anything, so you see these automatically pop up. I don't have to add those. But if I did add anything, then it would be there. Or I can go back in and edit it to continue to work on it. Now one thing that I'm not remembering, oh there it is, the glossary. So I put the word in, and it was on one of my content pages. We'll go to that one. I think I chose the word word. So we said this would link to the glossary. So it said just to go ahead and link it, and then you could add the definition later. Well, we need to know where to do that. And that is right here. So right here you see this tab says edit book, and if you click right here it says edit glossary. So right now I have just one word there, and I can edit it. I can add a definition, I can add a picture. I could even add audio to it. And then I can preview it if I want to, or once I've done that and saved it, I can return to the glossary. So all my words will be right there. So again, when you first go log in and you decide to start a book, you'll see Edit Book. But then once you start adding words to the glossary, you can edit your glossary by this tab up here. Okay, I think that's all I'm going to say about Book Builder. Again, it's just really following the template. If you have any questions, you're welcome to ask me. If you think this is something you might want to do, try it out. If it's not something you want to do right now, then just save it as something that you might use in the future.